inversion integral method. Now what is this inversion integral method? Now z inverse of f of z, it is given by f of k. How to get this f of k? F of k will be summation of residues of f of z into z raised to k minus 1 at poles of f of z. Okay. Now what is this residue and what is a pole? What is this pole of f of z? The value of z at which f of z become infinity, that we called as pole of f of z, or in other sense, value of z at which the denominator of f of z, becomes 0. Because when denominator becomes 0, something upon 0 will be infinity. So the poles of f of z are nothing but the values of z for which the denominator of f of z is 0. And the power of that term is, for example, if we have this f of z is equal to something, say z upon z minus 1 into z minus 2 cube. Suppose we have f of z equal to z upon z minus 1 into z minus 2 cube. Then z equal to 1. This is a pole of f of z. Because at z equal to 1, this term become 1 minus 1, 0, and 1 upon that, all this term will be, total term become infinity. So z equal to 1 will be pole of f of z. Same way, z equal to 2 is also pole of f of z. So the value of z for which denominator becomes 0 is called pole. And the power of that term we call is at its order. So z equal to 1 is a pole of order 1 and z equal to 2 is a pole of order 3. So power of z minus that pole, that we call as order of pole. Okay. And if you want, then we have to find these residues. We have to find the residues of f of z into z raised to k minus 1 at each pole. Now what is that formula? Residue of n times repeated pole z equal to a is, okay, this is 3 times repeated, 1 time repeated, like that. If the pole is repeated n times, order is n, then the formula for finding the residue is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial into n minus 1th derivative of z minus a raised to n into z raised to k minus 1 f of z at z equal to a. Okay, standard formula is there. These formulas can also be asked for multiple choice question. So carefully remember this formula. Residue of that given function of n times repeated pole z equal to a is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial d raised to n minus 1 dz raised to n minus 1 z minus a raised to n z raised to k minus 1 f of z. And after finding all this term, you have to put z equal to a into that term. Okay. So if it is repeated, not repeated, if n is 1, then what happened? 1 minus 1 factorial. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 factorial is 1. D raised to 1 minus 1, that is 0. 0 derivative means only inside function. So what function remain inside? It will be z minus a. Order is 1, so n is 1. Z raised to k minus 1 f of z. And we have to find the value of this at z equal to a. So if n is equal to 1, we get this simple formula. What we have to do, we have to multiply f of z with z raised to k minus 1 into z minus a. And then we have to put z equal to a into that term. That will give us the residue at z equal to a, which is repeated only once, means there is no repetition. Okay, then this is the formula, because 1 minus 1 is 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1. D raised to 1 minus 1, dz raised to 1 minus 1, that is 0 derivative, and 0 derivative means only inside function. And as we are taking n1, so we get z minus a raised to 1 z raised to k minus 1 f of z at z equal to a. Okay, so carefully remember this formula. First of all, for inversion integral method, what we have to do, first of all, we have to check what are the poles of f of z for which values denominator becomes 0. Then check what are the powers of that, order of that, and then find residue at each point by using this formula. Okay, by using this formula, find the residue at each pole, and addition of all the residues gives us f of k. Okay, and that f of k is nothing but the inverse z transform. So again, for inversion integral method, single formula we have to remember, and that formula is of residue. By properly finding the residue at each pole, we can and adding all that residues, we can get inverse Z transform. Okay, and generally in exam it is mentioned that solve the problem by inversion integral method, or otherwise also any problem can be solved by this method. There is no as such restriction as we have for power partial fraction method. Okay, Z common, like that there are no conditions for inversion integral. So for any problem, this inversion integral method can be used. Okay, we'll take a problem and then we'll see how to make use of this formula to get the solution. Consider the first problem on this. And the inverse Z transform of f of z is equal to z square upon z minus 1 by 4 into z minus 1 by 3. Okay. Now the same problem we can solve by using partial fraction method also. Because if you look at the powers of z, here power is 2. If you multiply this 2z, the power become 2. And if the powers are same, and if we can take one z common easily, we can use the partial fraction. Okay, so same problem can be solved by partial fraction method. Now we'll see how to make use of inversion integral method. Now for inversion integral method, what we need poles of f of z. That is the values of z for which this denominator become 0. Now for which values this denominator becomes 0? Denominator becomes 0 for 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. And power of each term is 1. So there are two poles, z equal to 1 by 4 and z equal to 1 by 3. Okay, there are two poles, z equal to 1 by 4 and z equal to 1 by 3, and both are of order 1 because power of this is 1. So order of that pole is 1. Okay, it is not repeated. It is appearing single time. N is 1 for both these poles. Okay. Now by inversion integral method, the f of k will be z inverse of f of z will be f of k, and f of k will be addition of the residues at poles of f of z. And what is the formula for residue? Just recalling the formula, residue of n times repeated pole z equal to a is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial d raised to n minus 1 dz raised to n minus 1 into z minus a raised to n z raised to k minus 1 f of z at z equal to a. Okay, so we have to make use of this formula. We have to find the residue at this point as well as residue at this point. So we have to find two residues. Both are of order 1. So for both these roots, n is 1. Okay, in both cases, take n 1. Okay. Now firstly take a as 1 by 4. Do the calculation, then take z equal to a is equal to 1 by 3, and again do the calculation. Add both the terms, that gives us the value of f of k. Okay, so first find the residue at 1 by 4. So residue of pole z equal to 1 by 4 is 1 upon 0 factorial, that will be 1. 0 derivative means the only original function, z minus a raised to n, z minus 1 by 4 raised to 1, z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. All this is f of z at z equal to a. A is 1 by 4, n is 1. Okay, so using these values into standard formula. Okay, now simplify it. Z minus 1 by 4, z minus 1 by 4 get cancelled. z raised to k minus 1 into z square. This power get added, and the power get added, it becomes k minus 1 plus 2. It becomes z raised to k plus 1 upon z minus 1 by 3. And then put z equal to 1 by 4 into it. Just do the substitution. So it is z raised to k plus 1 upon z minus 1 by 3 at z equal to 1 by 4. Put this value. So it is 1 by 4 raised to k plus 1 upon 1 by 4 minus 1 by 3. Do the cross multiplication. 3 minus 4 upon 12. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Minus 1 by 12. That take that 12 into numerator. So it is minus 12 into 1 by 4 is to k plus 1. Correct? Now same way find the residue at 1 by 3. Exactly same way get the residue at z equal to 1 by 3. So this is A. A is 1 by 3. N is 1. Okay, so it is 1 upon 0 factorial, that is 1, 0 derivative, z minus a raised to n, that is z minus 1 by 3 raised to 1, z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. All this term is f of z at z equal to a, 1 by 3. Now do the simplification. Z minus 1 by 3, z minus 1 by 3 get cancelled. Then these two powers get added. It becomes z raised to k plus 1 upon z minus 1 by 4. Okay. Now put this value of z, 1 by 3. So it becomes 1 by 3 raised to k plus 1 upon 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4. Now, if we do the cross multiplication, then what happened? It becomes 4 minus 3 upon 3 into 4. 4 minus 3 is 1 upon 12. Take 12 into numerator. So it becomes 12 into 1 by 3 raised to k plus 1. Now as there are only two poles, so we get only two residues. Add both the residues to get the solution. So f of k is equal to, first residue we got is minus 12 into 1 by 4 raised to k plus 1. And the second residue is this 12 into 1 by 3 raised to k plus 1. Okay. So it is also very easy. Important is remembering the formula of residue. And we have to find the residue at pole. And what is the pole? The value of z for which denominator of f of z become 0. And by using standard formula, get both the residues, add the residues to get the solution. Okay, very easy and very, very important method. It can be used for any type of problem. Okay. So this is the answer. If you want, you can simplify it further. 1 by 4 raised to k plus 1 means it is 1 by 4 into 1 by 4 raised to k. 1 by 4 we can take it outside. 12 by 4 is 3. 1 by 3 we can take it outside. Remaining term is 1 by 3 raised to k. 12 by 3 is 4. Okay, you can keep this answer as it is, or if you want, you can do like this, simplification like this. Taking 1 by 4 outside, taking 1 by 3 outside, and then 12 by 3, 12 by 4. Okay, that gives us this simplified term. Okay. Consider the next problem. Find the inverse Z transform of f of z is equal to z cube upon z minus 3 into z minus 2 square. Okay. Now, again check for which values of z this denominator becomes 0. That we call as poles of f of z. So first find what are the poles, check out their powers order. So there are two poles, z equal to 3, power of this is 1, so it is of order 1, and z equal to 2, this term becomes 0, so z equal to 2 is of order 2. So there are two poles, one pole is 3 of order 1 and other pole is 2 of order 2. Okay, now we have to find the two residues. So use again the formula of residue, just recall the formula of residue. Z inverse of f of z is equal to f of k, where f of k is equal to sum of the residues of f of z into z raised to k minus 1 at each pole of f of z. And what is the formula for residue? Formula for residue is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial d raised to n minus 1 dz raised to n minus 1 z minus a raised to n z raised to k minus 1 f of z at z equal to a. Okay. Now just find the residue at each point. Take a equal to 3, n equal to 1, take a equal to 2 and n equal to 2. Okay, and use this formula. So finding the residue at 3 of order 1 is 1 upon n is 1 here and a is 3. So it is 1 upon 0 factorial, 0 derivative of z minus a raised to n, that is 1, z raised to k minus 1, and all this term is f of z. This is f of z at z equal to 3. Z minus 3 get cancelled. Z raised to k minus 1 into z square. Powers get added. So the power become z raised to k minus 1 plus 3. That is z raised to k plus 2 divided by z minus 4 square at z equal to 3. Z raised to k plus 2 upon z minus 4 square at z equal to 3. Now put this 3 into it. 3 raised to k plus 2, 3 minus 4 square. 3 minus 4 is minus 1, minus 1 square is plus 1. So it becomes 3 raised to k plus 2. Okay. Now find the residue at z equal to 2, z equal to 4 of order 2, and it will be n is 2 here. This is n is 2 and a is 4. So it is 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial, d raised to 2 minus 1, dz raised to 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, z minus a raised to n, that is z minus 4 raised to 2, z raised to k minus 1, z cube upon z minus 3 into z minus 4 square at z equal to 4. Now this z minus 4, this z minus 4 get cancelled. So what are the term remain? Z raised to k minus 1 plus 3, power get added, divided by z minus 3. So it will be d by dz of z raised to k plus 2 upon z minus 3. And now find the derivative of it first. First take a derivative, u by v rule, quotient rule. Z minus 3 into derivative of this minus all this term into derivative of z minus 3 divided by z minus 3 square. U by v rule. So z minus 3 into derivative of this will be k plus 2 z raised to k plus 1 minus z raised to k plus 2 into derivative of z minus 3. That will be 1 divided by z minus 3 square. And it is the value of z at 4. Okay. Now simplify it further. You can substitute z equal to 4 into it. 4 minus 3 k plus 2, 4 raised to k plus 1 minus 4 raised to k plus 2 upon 4 minus 3 square. So just do the substitution. Put z equal to 4 into it. Okay. Put z equal to 4. So it becomes 4 minus 3 k plus 2 raised into 4 raised to k plus 1 minus 4 raised to k plus 2 upon 4 minus 3 square. Simplify it. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 square is 1. So it becomes k plus 2, 4 raised to k plus 1 minus 4 raised to k plus 2. Now 4 raised to k plus 1, we can take it common. K plus 2 is k plus 1 plus 1. So 1 4 will remain here after taking it common. So that is 1 4 after taking one term common. This we can write it as this k plus 2. This we can write it as 4 raised to k plus 1 into 4. And then taking this term common, 4 will remain. So here k plus 2 will remain and here 1 4 will remain. So k plus 2 minus 4 into 4 raised to k plus 1. So it will give us k minus 2, 4 raised to k plus 1. And add both the residues, that gives us f of k. So z inverse of f of z is equal to f of k, which is equal to 3 raised to k plus 2 plus k minus 2 into 4 raised to k plus 1. So this is the inverse Z transform. So you can use any of the method. Either you can use the power series method, or you can use partial fraction method, or you can use inversion integral method. Inversion integral can be used for any problem. Partial fraction generally used for the problems in which uh, we can easily take z term, power of numerator and denominator are same, and we can easily take one z common from numerator term. And power series, if we have a linear terms, um, and which can be separated by partial fraction easily, there we go for the power series method, first method. Basic terms are there, then power series is useful. Okay. Then in the so this is how we can find the inverse Z transform. Solution of a simple difference equations using Z transform. Now what is this difference equation? Okay, we already know what is a differential equation. Now what is the differential equation? The equation which contains a derivative. Okay? The equation which contains a derivative, such terms dy by dx, that we call as a differential equation. Depending on first order, second order, like that nth order differential derivatives are there. Depending on that, we have the different types of differential equation. Now, here we can take a derivative of y with respect to x, because y is a continuous function. We can find dy by dx only for the continuous function. But if you have a discrete function, what do you mean by discrete function? Only for some values, some points, we know the value of the function. Means if you plot the graph of the function, then we just get the points. If we draw the graph of y and x for continuous function, we get some curve. But for a discrete function, we just get the points. And if we have the points, then we cannot take its derivative. If we have a sequence, point or discrete signals that we call f of k sequence, then in that case, we cannot take the derivative of the function. But the value of k, the function is changing with respect to k. So how to find the change in f of k with respect to k? That we can get by using difference equation. Okay, here the change is denoted by derivative. Here the changes are denoted by differences. Okay, now what are these differences? The equation in terms of this f of k plus 1 or k minus 1, k plus 2, k minus 2. Okay, these are the differences. Okay, these are called as the differences. The equation between such type of terms, okay, different equation in such type of terms is called as a difference equation. Okay, because for continuous derivative is there, change in one variable with respect to other variable gives us the derivative. Okay, and equation containing that will be differential equation. Now here, change in the variable, it is denoted by such type of term, k plus n, k plus 2, k plus 3, like that the terms. And the equation involving such differences is called difference equation. And then solution of that means what? Finding the value of f of k, solving that equation, finding the value of f of k in terms of k is called its solution. Okay, so it is an equivalent condition to differential equation. Different derivatives cannot be taken, so the corresponding equations between f of k plus n or k minus n and solution of that is we can solve it by using this Z transform. So that application we are going to see. So how to solve that? So for that we have to remember some formulas. Okay, already we have used these formulas. I'm just recalling it. We have already taken the properties of Z. We saw what is Z transform of f of k plus n, and the formula for f of k minus n. Okay, in the standard properties and the formulas, we have taken these two formulas. I'm just recalling that formulas. If Z transform of f of k is equal to f of z, then Z transform of k plus 1 is equal to z f of z minus z small f of 0. Z transform of k plus 2, it will be z square f of z minus z square f of 0 minus z f of 1. Just reduce this power and increase this term. If you are having cube here, means if you are having 3 here, then it will be z cube f of z, z cube f of 0, minus z square f of 1, minus z f of 2. Okay, we have to increase this and we have to decrease this power. Okay, like that we can get it for k plus n. We have taken the formula for k plus n in the form of summation. Okay. Now, the next formula is for z transform f of k minus 1. And the formula is z raised to minus 1 f of z. K minus 2, z minus 2 f of z. Okay. So like that, we have the standard formulas. For k minus n, it is just z raised to minus n f of z. K minus n is z transform f of k minus n is z raised to minus n f of z. Okay. So carefully remember these formulas. We use these formulas while solving the problems on this difference equation. Consider the problem. Solve the difference equation f of k plus 2 plus 3 into f of k plus 1 plus 2 into f of k equal to 0, where f of 0 equal to 0 and f of 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so equation involving such term we call as a difference equation. And what is our aim? Our aim is to find f of k. What is the value of f of k? Now, what is the method? Method is very easy. Whatever difference equation is given, first find z transform of that equation on both sides. Take z transform of that equation on both sides. Then try to collect all f of z terms together. Collect all f of z terms together and take inverse of that, that gives us f of k. So first z transform of the given equation, then get f of z from that and take its inverse. That gives us the inverse z transform. Okay. Now, so firstly take the z transform on both sides. So z transform of the given equation will be z f of k plus 2. 3 is a constant term. Take it outside. 2 is a constant, taking it outside. So z of f of k plus 2 plus 3 into z transform of f of k plus 1 plus 2 into z transform of f of k equal to z transform of 0. Okay. Z transform of 0, by using the definition, it is the summation of 0 terms. And summation of 0 is 0. Okay. Now, use the formula of f of k plus 1, k plus 2. Use the standard formula of this term. Use the standard formula of this. Z transform of f of k, this is f of z. So make use of that standard terms. So by standard formula, it will be z square power is 2. So we start with z square f of z minus z f of 0 minus z f of 1. Okay, we are reducing this power and we are increasing this term. 0 then 1, z square then z. Okay, plus here 1 is there, so it is z raised to 1 f of z minus z f of 0 plus z transform of f of k, this will be f of z. Correct? Now, simplify it. These values are given in the problem. F of 0 is 0, f of 0 is 0, and f of 1 is 1. So make use of these two values. Substitute over here, substitute the value for these terms. Then collect all f of z terms together. Collect these terms together. So substituting the values, it becomes z square f of z minus z square into 0 will be 0 minus z into 1, that will be z, plus 3 into z f of z minus z into 0. Z into 0 is 0 plus 2 f of z. Okay. Now take all f of z terms together. Take minus z to other side. Take this minus z to other side and take all f of z terms together. So we get z square plus 3z plus 2 f of z is equal to, taking this minus z to other side, it becomes plus z. Now we want f of z. So f of z will be z upon z square plus 3z plus 2. Now we want what is f of k. Aim is to get f of k. And how we can get f of k? By using inverse of this term. So find inverse Z transform this. Now you can use any of the method. Either you can use power series method, partial fraction method, or inversion integral. Out of these three, the convenient or simple is partial fraction. But for partial fraction, we have to check, can we take one Z common from numerator or not? And you can see that we can easily take this Z common. Okay, we can easily divide both the terms by Z. Okay, so take this Z to other side. So we get 1 upon, and now find the factors of denominator. Product is 2, multiplication, product is 2 and addition is 3. So the factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Addition of 1 and 2 is 3. Multiplication of 1 and 2 is 2. So the factors are z plus 1 into z plus 2. Now separate them by using partial fraction. These are the linear terms. So it is a upon z plus 1 plus b upon z plus 2. Now do the cross multiplication. On this side we have 1. So 1 is equal to a into z plus 2, z plus 1 get cancelled, plus b into this z plus 2 get cancelled, b into z plus 1. So just do the cross multiplication. 1 is equal to a into z plus 2 plus b into z plus 1. Now we have to do some substitutions for this z term. Put the value of z so that this term get cancelled. For which value of z it get cancelled? Z equal to minus 1. Because minus 1 plus 1 it get cancelled. So put z equal to minus 1. So we get 1 is equal to a into minus 1 plus 2. Minus 1 plus 2 is 1. So a will be 1. For z equal to minus 1, we get a equal to 1. Now for which value this term becomes 0? When z is minus 2. So minus 2 plus 2 get cancelled. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. Taking that minus sign to other side, we get b is equal to minus 1. So values of a and b we can get by doing the proper substitution for this z terms. Okay. So b will be minus 1, a is 1. Put this value into f of z by z. So f of z by z is equal to 1 upon z plus 1 minus 1 upon z plus 2. Now take z to other side. Okay. Taking this z to other side, we get f of z will be z upon z plus 1 minus z upon z plus 2. And now use the formula of z upon z minus a. Now instead of minus a, what we have? Z plus 1. But z plus 1 we can write it as z minus of minus 1. Okay, we can write this z plus 1 as z minus of minus 1. And z plus 2 we can write it as z minus of minus 2. Correct? So use that standard formula. So taking z inverse on both sides, f of k will be z inverse of f of z, which is equal to z inverse of z upon z plus 1 minus z inverse of z upon z plus 2. This plus 1 is minus of minus 1. This will be minus of minus 2. And the formula for z upon z minus a, it will be a raised to k. So here a will be minus 1 and here a will be minus 2. Okay. So by using that corresponding formula, it will be z, all this z inverse of all this term will be minus 1 raised to k minus of minus 2 raised to k, where k greater equals 0. Okay. So this is very easy and very important one, how to solve a difference equation. Firstly, whatever difference equation is given, take z transform of it on both sides. Then use the formula of z of f of k plus n or f of k minus n. Standard formulas we saw. So make use of that standard formulas. Then get the value of f of z. And if you can take z common from numerator of f of z, then use partial fraction method. Separate it out, take z to other side, and by taking inverse z transform using standard formulas, we can get the answer. Okay. The next problem. Solve the difference equation f of k plus 1 plus 1 by 4 into f of k equal to 1 by 4 raised to k for k greater equals 0 and f of 0 is equal to 0. So again take z transform on both sides, z of k plus 1 plus, okay, taking z transform on both sides, 1 by 4 is a constant, so it will be z transform of first term plus 1 by 4 into z transform this term equal to z transform of 1 by 4 raised to k. Now z transform of f of k, this will be f of z. Here use the formula of z transform of f of k plus n. N is 1, so it will be z f of z minus z f of 0. Okay, so using standard formula, it will be z f of z minus z f of 0 plus 1 by 4 into z transform f of k is f of z. Okay, z transform this a raised to k. Okay, z transform of a raised to k is z upon z minus a. Okay, or otherwise you can use the definition. Here k is greater equals 0, so you can use the definition of z transform. That will be summation 1 by 4 raised to k into z raised to minus k, and then put the values of k from 0 to infinity and simplifying it, it gives us this term. Or already we saw what is the z transform of z inverse of z upon z minus a, that is a raised to k. So you can use the reverse of that. So z inverse z transform of a raised to k is z upon z minus a. Okay, so z of a raised to k will be z upon z minus 1 by 4. Now simplify it, put this value, put the value of f of 0. F of 0 is 0, so this term is 0. Then collect all these f of z terms together. So collecting these two terms together, we get f of z into z plus 1 by 4 equal to z upon z minus 1 by 4. We want f of z, so take this z plus 1 by 4 to other side. So f of z is equal to z upon z minus 1 by 4 into z plus 1 by 4. Okay. Now we have to find the inverse z of this. We want to find f of k from this. So you can use any of the method, power series, partial fraction, or inversion integral. No, you can see we can easily take one z common. So using partial fraction will be quite convenient. So take this z to other side, separate these two terms, and then use standard formulas. So f of z by z is equal to 1 upon z minus 1 by 4 into z plus 1 by 4. And now use partial fraction. Separate these two terms. F of z by z is equal to 1 upon z minus 1 by 4 into z minus plus 1 by 4. That we can write it as a upon z minus 1 by 4 plus b upon z plus 1 by 4. Now do the cross multiplication. Here we have 1. So 1 is equal to a into z plus 1 by 4, b into z minus 1 by 4. So 1 is equal to a into z plus 1 by 4 plus b into z minus 1 by 4. Okay. Now substitute the value of z so that this term get cancelled, and then substitute the value so that this term get cancelled. Now this get cancelled for z is equal to plus 1 by 4, and this term get cancelled for z equal to minus 1 by 4. So first put z equal to 1 by 4. So 1 is equal to a into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 will be 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2. And take 2 to other side, a will be 2. And when we put z equal to minus 1 by 4, first term get cancelled. Minus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4 will be minus 2 by 4. That is minus half. Take that minus half to other side, it becomes minus 2. So b is equal to minus 2. For z is equal to minus 1 by 4, b is minus 2. Okay, now substitute this a and b. F of z by z become 2 upon z minus 1 by 4 minus 2 upon z plus 1 by 4. Okay, now take z to other side. So by taking z to other side, f of z become z upon 2 into z upon z minus 1 by 4 minus 2 into z upon z plus 1 by 4. And now take inverse on both sides. 2 is a constant, so we can take constant term out and find the inverse z of these two separately. So f of k, that is z inverse of f of z, is equal to 2 into z inverse of z upon z minus 1 by 4 minus 2 into z inverse of z upon z plus 1 by 4. Okay, and we know the condition on mod z. Mod z is less than 1 by 4. So you can make use of this condition and use the standard formula of z upon z minus a. If mod z is less than mod a, it will be a raised to k. So make use of that standard formula. So we can write it as 2 times z inverse of z upon z minus 1 by 4. This plus 1 by 4, we can write it as minus of minus 1 by 4. Okay, if mod z, and what condition we know, mod z is less than 1 by 4, and if mod z is less than 1 by 4, mod z will be definitely less than mod of minus 1 by 4. Why it is so? Because mod of 1 by 4 and mod of minus 1 by 4 both are one and the same. Okay, both are same. Mod of 1 by 4 and mod of minus 1 by 4 are same. So if mod z is less than 1 by 4, it will be definitely less than mod of minus 1 by 4. And if mod z less than mod a, then we have a standard formula for z upon z minus a. So make use of that standard formula and get the inverse z transform. So standard formula is z upon z minus a is a raised to k. It is a raised to k. Z upon z minus a. Standard formula of inverse z transform. So making use of that, we get 1 by 4 raised to k, and here we get minus 1 by 4 raised to k. And for both these terms, k is greater or equal 0. Okay? So this is how we get the solution of difference equation. So what to do in difference equation? Firstly, take z transform on both sides, then then use the formula of z transform. Then use the formula of z transform f of k plus n and f of k minus n. Both these formulas are very, very important. After using these two formulas, we get the terms in the form f of z. And after getting f of z, take its inverse transform. And mostly the inverse transform gets solved by using partial fraction method. Take z to other side and then separate out denominator, take z to other side again, and use the standard formulas that uses the inverse z transform.